First and foremost, when the sympathetic nervous system, the fight, flight, freeze, the Frankie's monster we talked about, part of your brain goes off, your job isn't to let Frankie's monster run the show. Your job is to be aware that you're procrastinating, you're self-sabotaging, you're wasting time, you're unfocused, you're trying to do too many things at the same time. And the first thing you've got to learn how to do is stop. Stop for just a moment. We can do one of two things. There's something called the physiological sigh. And the physiological sigh, okay, goes like this. You go, 4 of those. Breathe in deeply. Breathe in some more. Let it go. Breathe in. That's the physiological sigh. Or you can do what I call is take 6, calm the circuits. And this one's a little bit different, because if you're in a public place, that one's a little hard to do. But if you want to just do this, if you're stressed out, you're worried, you're doubtful, you have negative self-talk, disempowering emotions, you're on the verge of panic, you breathe in as slowly as you can in through your nostrils. And then when you're breathing out, pretend you're breathing out through a straw and focus on the air coming out of your mouth. You do that 6 times, which will take you less than 1 minute. In slowly, slowly, slowly. It's calming the sympathetic nervous system. The system has got a vagus nerve, not Las Vegas, but VAGUS, vagus nerve. And it's broken down into 2 parts that come from the brain stem all the way down to your belly. Then it latches out to every other part of your body. When the sympathetic nervous system is active, you're in the fight, flight, freeze mode. All right. Your brain networks that are activated, okay, are the ones for fight, flight, freeze. You're breathing shallow. You're myopic in your view. And as soon as you do the physiological sigh, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, or the take 6, calm the circuits, you deactivate that part of your brain and you reactivate the Einstein part of your brain, the CEO, the executive director, the orchestra leader of the brain. And since this brain has got a variety of different networks and circuits that you can activate or deactivate with a little bit of skill, you can now use that part of your brain to say, okay, what am I fearful of? What's stressing me out? Because stress, think about this, stress. It's when the demand exceeds your current capacity, that switch goes on. No different when you're boiling water, okay, for your tea. Okay, it might whistle when it gets to a certain temperature. Well, stress circuit goes on when the current demand or something you're thinking about in the future that you think you can't handle right now, that circuit gets activated. Well, why not just turn the circuit off? And why not operate from the smart part of your brain to say, okay, what's stressing me out? Well, I'm worried I can't pay the rent. I'm worried that I don't have enough, this. I just got into a car accident. I might get laid off. My business is crashing. Maybe all this is happening, or maybe this has happened. So here's the question. Let's say it's real. Let's say there's something to really be concerned about. Which part of your brain do you think will help you achieve a path to the solution? The worry, doubt, fear, stress, panic, what if negative part of your brain that perpetuates those negative thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, or the Einstein part of your brain that can say, well, what can I do about that right now? Who can help me? Can I go to ChatGPT and maybe come up with a plan? Can I do X? Can I do Y? Now we get into possibility of solutions versus exacerbating the problem that in most cases is in our imagination. So here's my question for everybody. Do you think with a little practice, you could get better at this? Now, you're either going to say, yes, I can, or no, I can't. Or yes, I want to, No, I don't. But the mechanisms for more awareness is mindfulness. Mindfulness has to happen in a calm, relaxed state. And you can do it interoceptively, mindfulness, awareness of what's happening within me. Or I could do something called exteroception, be aware of what's happening around me. And when I learn how to do both without, and this is critical. You asked me what I teach my students. I work with professional athletes, CEOs, entrepreneurs, homemakers, it doesn't matter. Without judging yourself, blaming yourself, feeling ashamed or guilty or embarrassed. No, awareness is to observe a pattern without labels, without activating positive or negative emotions or feelings. The observation of a pattern happens no differently than a radiologist, taking an x-ray and going, here's what I see. In the observation of the pattern, we can ask questions, and the power of our questions will determine how we feel, or the meaning we give things will determine how I feel. So, can I learn to give things a meaning that empower me instead of disempower me?